Hello, singers! You're listening to Find Your Voice. Because when you find your voice, you find yourself. Here, you can find the best warm-up exercises, advice, and tips to sing like a pro and help you become the greatest singer you can be. I'm Melly, founder of Melly Music Lessons, a successful online music community that teaches you to sing freely and find your voice. Remember to subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you find your podcasts, and join our vibrant community of singers. #FindYourVoice. This episode is brought to you by Singing in 3 Simple Steps, the only online course that will teach you how to sing freely. Visit mellymusiclessons.com for more details. The course starts at the end of the month. Can't wait to see you there. So, my audience really likes warm-up exercises. Can you give us any favorite warm-up exercise that you enjoy doing?
Warm up. I give you one. This one is a key. This is the one you want to do every day when you work up. When you work up, every day. First, you have to learn how to speak, and after you learn how to speak, then you can tell people what's in your mind. Every day when you wake up, you can do this while you're lying in bed. You can do it in the bathroom while you're putting on your deodorant. You can do it while you're driving. The first exercise you want to do is this. This is the thing that tests your voice. It warms up your voice. It moisturizes your voice. It also tells you where your voice is. And it's like and everybody can't do it, but it's like when you're a kid and you're a motor. You're It's just that. It's just being silly with your voice. But you're using the voice, you're testing it, you're stretching it out, you're getting it warm, and you just start at a low scale and go up to a high scale. And that's the first exercise you want to do every day. So, and you're like going, okay, this is where my voice is. And it will also tell you how much warm up you have to, like if, for instance, if your typical warm up is a half hour, some days you wake up and you go, I need to warm up for an hour. Or if your typical voice warm up is an hour, you need to go, I need an hour and a half before I'm really ready to sing. So that's a real good one. That's an easy one. That's one that you don't need a teacher for. Just start low. And there's another thing. If you can't do this, because some days are easier than others for me to go. Some days I can't keep my lips together. So if you're having trouble with it, what I do is I put my teeth together, and then I press my lips together. It helps me to be consistent with this. So I put my teeth together like that, and you just kind of, you're not clenching them hard, but you're just put them together securely, and then do the lips. And again, if that one's hard for you, do this one, which is a little nastier. I find that one more difficult with your tongue out, and it's also kind of gross. You don't want anybody to be in the way. But yeah, that's a really good warm up.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Love it. So I know that we talk about lots of like great achievements and things like that, but is there a story from your career that maybe didn't turn out the way you expected that might help us understand more about like persistence? Anything you want to share?
Oh man. Yeah, well, I don't know if this is a particular story, but things are going to go up and down. It's never going to happen that, and this is truer for us than it is for other professions, but other professions have it too. I mean, you see people in the tech world get laid off. Yeah, it's true for everybody. Everything must change. That's the name of a beautiful song, and it's really Bernard Aigner wrote this song. And if you don't know it, write it down right now. Everything must change. Bernard Igner, Aigner, or Ighner, one of those. Bernard. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. He has a beautiful, beautiful voice, and it's been covered by 300 or 400 people. Anyway, your career is going to go up and down. IGHNER. That's right. So it's easy to get discouraged and think that it's over. Like, let's say you have a good job in music, and that job ends, and then you're kind of seems like a long time before you get anything else. You see it with actors. You like see an actor in a series and they were great and you love them. And then you might not see them again for 10 years. You might not see them for 20 years. And then they come back and they're like, it just happened with the young the Asian man in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. He was a boy star. And then he was away until he was a man well in middle age. And now he just won an Oscar in this movie. Anyway, you have to be patient and you have to be active and you have to be positive and know that it's not going to last forever. The down times, because sometimes it can seem like forever and you can despair. For some people, you have to be willing to do other things. Everybody can't be in Michael Jackson's band. Some people can be in a church band or in a band that plays clubs. Man, it's easier to reach people than ever before. I mean, here I'm looking at my phone right now. I mean, this is science fiction. We live in a world of science fiction now. These things that we take for granted, they weren't always the case. I was laughing to my wife the other night. We have flat screen TVs in like three or four rooms in our house now. And I was just like, I used to live a couple of blocks from here. We had one TV in a house. Our whole house was as big as this room that I'm in right now. And there were 6 of us. And so technology changes, everything changes. You always want to try to be educating yourself. You want to get your tools as sharp as you possibly can. And you want to be friendly to everyone. You want to be nice to everybody. I mean, Melly she was like the first person I knew that was starting like a blog podcast. Before podcasts exist, she had one. And I was like, she went straight out of school and it was like no time she was calling me and saying, hey, I'm starting this thing and I'm doing. I'm like, what is that? Do you remember?
Yeah.
You sent me, I think you sent me an email or something. And, and then years later, everybody's doing it. Everybody. I mean, I swear you're the first person doing it that I knew. And it was long before Joe Rogan or any of them. But anyway, pay attention, read, write, make friends. And the reason you want to be nice to everybody, you shouldn't be nice to everybody because you hope they'll get you a job sometime. You should be nice to everybody, period, because it's good to be nice. We all have to live in the world together. But that's how we should be to one another, making the world a better place. And each of us can do that. But in addition to that, every job I've ever gotten is called because someone called me. I'm not in a book. There's no book for singers or vocal coaches or anything like that. Every job comes from referral. And if you're a drag to be around, nobody's going to say call. On the contrary, they'll be, don't call that guy. He's a drag. This guy's always starting drama. Don't be, if there's drama on a gig, don't be in it. Don't listen to it. Don't be in it. You want to be known as a person with got a sunny personality. They do their work. They do their homework. They're always willing to do extra. They bring a great spirit. They're fun to be around, and that stuff. This is kind of aside from that. Some people, I don't have that kind of personality, but you can. People who are always positive, maybe there's something chemical going on, but you can pretend to be in a good mood and to be nice and to do nice things for them. And the more you pretend, the more you become that thing. You get up in the morning, you're like going, I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be positive. And I'm going to smile at the people when I pass them on the street. I'm going to be that person. You decide to be that. And then and then your brain starts following what you told it to do.
So my last question that I had from this end, and then we can get to other questions. So if you guys give me 1 second, we'll answer those questions. So what does it take to succeed and make a living as a vocalist? What advice would you give to all those dreamers out there?
First thing is to learn how to sing. Learn how to really sing, and don't just learn how to sing well enough. I think that one of the drawbacks of the technology we have is people sing something and they want to put it on the phone. We can rush to show the world what we're doing, and oftentimes we're not really ready for people to see that. So, and it can also, by doing that, it can make you feel like you've done the thing because you did it, got an audience, you put it on YouTube, you got some comments, and now you're good. And so you can feel like you've accomplished something. But make sure you really learn how to sing well, and you got to figure out how to do that. It could be every song on your iTunes playlist. You can learn every one. I would learn how to sing. I would get a list of 15 songs. I used to tell people to do this. I haven't told anybody in a long time. Go to 3 different people and go to one person, give me a list of 5 great R&B songs that you love, and then write those songs down. And then go to another person and say, give me a list of 5 jazz songs that you love, and write those songs down. Then go to someone else and say, give me a list of 5 country songs, and make a list of those. Then go to another person and say, give me a list of 5 gospel songs. And then you write those down. And then you spend 1 week learning a song a week, and learn them and try to sing them exactly like if Aretha Franklin is song number 1, learn how to sing exactly like that. Try to imitate her as much as you can. Maybe it'll take you 2 weeks. But anyway, that's 20 songs and that's 20 weeks. And you're in a vocal class now for 20 weeks that you've set up for yourself. So you come home every day and you spend an hour or 2 working on that song, that artist, learn about their phrasing. And here's another good thing about that. If you're doing that, if you're spending a week or 2 on an Aretha Franklin song, you're getting a vocal lesson from Aretha Franklin. And again, every one of those songs, you want to try to sing it exactly like that person, because you're developing your voice, you're learning intervals, you're training your ear, you're getting really, really good. So that's one way to do it. In addition to doing that, or another thing to do is to go join a church choir. Get in the choir and go every week and learn those songs and be a faithful member. You'll learn how to sing harmony. You'll learn how to perform. You'll get closer to God. You'll be in a community, and you'll learn what it feels like to stand up in front of people. That's another way to learn how to do it. So the first thing is you have to have a base, because you have to be able to, if you're going to be a working singer, you got to be able to do lots and lots of different things. When you get to a certain level, or at the same time, go to live shows, go to see somebody at your local club. We can't necessarily afford the $200 ticket all the time, but if somebody's singing in a coffee house, go to hear them, go to meet them, meet musicians and people in bands. Go to the local music school. There's a music school in your neighborhood, or a music college, whatever. Go to learn the tricks of the trade and be around people who are doing it and make those relationships. Because those relationships are going to be, some of those people you're going to know all along the way, or you're going to meet them 10 years, 20 years down the line and work for them, or they for you. So the stuff to do, if you just start doing something locally with music, you'll meet people, you have people you can bounce off of. And again, you can talk to somebody by DMing somebody in Tokyo right now. You can start a relationship, a conversation with them. I mean, there's like no barrier to learning music now for anyone.
That is an amazing advice, like a mega golden nugget. So I hope everybody's taking notes and writing everything that he just said. Awesome. So any other news that you want to share with us? Where can we see you perform? How can we find you?
I have 2 singles that are out, me and my daughter, the DNA record for Dorian and Dorian Holley is out. And also, you mentioned earlier, I have a show that I put together a few years ago, 5 years ago, actually, a love letter to Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye is one of my favorite singers. So I put this giant show together. It's a 90-minute show of, we do the What's Going On album. We do the whole album from start to finish. So it's a great, great show. And you can see that show now if you go to www.hitkor.com, HITKOR, hitkor.com.
It was a pleasure to having you here. It was so nice to talk to you after 10 years. We definitely are going to see each other more, I promise.
Great.
Thank you so much for your advice, for sharing everything you've learned through the years, and for sharing everything with this community of singers who are hungry and who are excited to learn more and to, become better singers themselves, and maybe, I don't know, superstars if they're meant to be or whatever. Khadija says, this is gold. Thank you so much for this masterclass, Melly and Dorian. I appreciate you both. Thank you. Yes. Well, anything else you want to add? Whatever's on your mind.
I just want to say, be encouraged, because it can happen. There's nothing special about me that happened to me. It was just by the grace of God. And, good things can happen to anybody.
Thank you so much for joining me today. You just became a better singer than yesterday simply by being here. There are always new episodes coming, so please follow me on Apple Podcasts or Spotify so you never miss an episode. And if you're enjoying the show, leave me a 5-star review. It really helps me get in touch with more singers like you. Better yet, tell a friend. You can share this episode with them right now by clicking the share button. Thanks for being part of this musical community. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.